It was close to 2 a.m. when my phone buzzed on the nightstand. The room was still and dark, the only sound coming from the soft whir of the ceiling fan. I blinked against the glow of the screen, barely awake, and saw a message from my wife, Emily. It read, "I lost track of time." That was all. No explanation. No follow-up. Nothing else. My chest tightened as my eyes flicked to the clock again. She'd gone out for dinner with coworkers at 8 p.m. and hadn't sent a single text since. For a moment, I tried to convince myself there was nothing wrong, maybe they lingered at the restaurant, or maybe her phone battery died. But something in me knew better. Emily wasn't careless. She always sent a quick message if she was running even 10 minutes late. Hours of silence followed by a vague message at 2 a.m. didn't sound like her at all. I stared at the text for a while before I typed a response, choosing every word carefully. "That's fine. I just hope you mentioned to Mark that you're married before it got too late." Then I hit send. The message wasn't angry, just calm, direct, and heavy with meaning. Mark was her coworker, the one whose name had been showing up in her stories a little too often lately. For a few seconds, there was no reply. Then the typing dots appeared, disappeared, and reappeared again. Finally, her message came through. "What are you talking about?" I didn't answer. I set my phone down, turned off the lamp, and pretended to go back to sleep. But my heart was pounding, and my mind was racing through every odd thing I'd noticed recently, her sudden eagerness to go out, the new perfume, how she kept her phone close like it held state secrets. By 2:07 a.m., the silence in the house broke. I heard quick footsteps outside the door, then the jingle of keys. Emily rushed in, out of breath, her face pale. She froze when she saw me sitting calmly on the couch instead of asleep in bed. "Why did you send that message?" she asked, her voice trembling. I looked at her for a long moment before answering. "Because I wanted to see how fast guilt travels." Her expression shifted instantly, confusion tangled with panic. "I wasn't with Mark," she stammered. "We were all just hanging out. I didn't realize how late it got." I nodded slowly, pretending to accept it, though my eyes said otherwise. "Where were you hanging out?" I asked. She hesitated. "At a coworker's place. We were playing cards." Her story sounded thin. I kept my voice steady. "Strange. I called your office earlier to see when you'd left. Your boss said Mark clocked out around 8:20. Coincidence?" She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Her hands trembled. I stood, walked past her, and picked up her purse from the counter. Handing it to her, I said quietly, "You might want to check your phone. It's been tracking your location all night." Her eyes widened. She unlocked her phone, and the truth stared back at her, a location pin still open from a small motel across town. The room fell silent. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "It's not what it looks like." Her voice cracked halfway through the sentence. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I just said, "You don't get to decide what it looks like anymore." Then I turned and walked to the bedroom, closing the door behind me. That night, she slept on the couch. I didn't sleep at all. My thoughts replayed every detail, the lies, the excuses, the untouched dinners waiting for her. The woman I thought I knew had become a stranger sitting under my own roof. Her 2 a.m. message wasn't about losing track of time. It was about losing track of loyalty. In the morning, she tried to talk, but I couldn't bring myself to listen. I told her I'd be staying at my brother's for a few days. She cried, swore it was a mistake, that nothing serious had happened. But mistakes don't come with hidden locations and midnight lies. As I packed my things, a realization sank in: sometimes silence tells the truth louder than shouting ever could. That one calm message I'd sent at 2 a.m. had revealed everything about our marriage, her guilt, her fear, and the distance she'd already created. When I left the house, she stood in the doorway, tears streaming down her face. I didn't look back. Because when she said she'd lost track of time, I understood. I'd lost track of her long before that. And by 2:10 that night, her panic had confessed more than any words ever would.